to our online class. Today is Thursday, and in the first session we are going to learn about Grammar Galaxy. But before we go to our new unit today, can I ask you, what did you learn yesterday about Grammar Galaxy 1? Yesterday we did one exercises, right? There are 10 sentences that we did yesterday. It is about verb to be from Unit 5. Unit 5, he's an animal doctor. So when do we use is, when do we use are, and when do we use am? But today we are going to go to a new unit, Unit 6. And if you open your book on page 30, Grammar Galaxy 1 on page 30, you will see Unit 6. Can you tell me the title of Unit 6? The title of Unit 6 is I work with flowers. I work with flowers. In this unit, we specifically focus on present simple, or we can say simple present. So when do we use simple present or present simple? We use simple present to talk about facts and people's habits. Example, I play football every Sunday. I play football every Sunday. So this is my habit because every Sunday I always play football. That is my habit. So I use the verb play. I play football every Sunday or every weekend. I play football every Sunday. So this is my habit. I always do it on this Sunday, the next Sunday, the next Sunday, every Sunday. So that is my habit. So what is your habit? Example, you say, I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning. So this is your habit, right? Because at every 7 o'clock in the morning, you always get up. That is your habit. Example, I go to sleep at 10 p.m. every night. I go to sleep at 10 p.m. every night. So that is your habit because you do it every day, every night. That's we call habit. Or we can say, my mom always calls me at 6 a.m. My mom always calls me at 6 a.m. So at 6 a.m. my mom's always calls me every day. That is her habit. So we use simple present to talk about people's habit. Next, after a third person singular subject, he, she, or it, the verb ends with s. It means that sometimes we have to add s, sometimes we have to add es. We will go to study about this all together. So now I want you to look at the table. In the table, you see affirmative, negative, and yes, no questions, right? And then short answers. So let's look at the affirmative. So one of our subject is I, you, we, they. We add one verb, but we don't add the letter s or es to that verb. Example, I work, I teach, I play, you work, you want, you need, you watch. They go, they do, they work. We don't add s or es. But when our subject is third person singular like he, she, or it, we have to add s or es. So when do we add s and when do we add s? Remember, most verbs we add s. Example, he works, she works. Example, he works at the hospital, she works at ABI. It works well. So we need to add s. But when do we add the s? So for the third person singular subject he, she, it, we add es when the verb ends with letter ch, sh, s, or x. Example, the word that ends with letter ch, the word teach. Example, the subject I teach. I teach English at ABI. You teach English at ABI. But when our subject is third person singular he, we cannot say he teach at ABI. We have to add es to the word teach because the word teach, it ends with letter ch. So it becomes he teaches English at ABI. She teaches English at ABI. Okay, so you have to add es when the verb ends with letter ch when we use the third person singular. Example, the word that ends with letter ch, one more, the word watch. Example, you watch TV, they watch a musical. But when the third person singular subject like the word he watches, we have to add es to the word watch. Why? Because the word watch ends with letter ch. So he watches TV. He watches football on television. He watches a musical. Okay, so remember, when our subject is third person singular, he, she, it, or the name of someone like Dara, like Kim Long, like Lee Heng, like Kanya, one person we have to add es to the verb that ends with letter ch, sx, x, right? Another example, the word that ends with letter sh. Example, the word brush, b-r-u-s-h. If I use the subject I brush my teeth every morning. But when our subject is she, example, she brushes her teeth every morning. Why? Because our subject is third person singular she, and the verb brush, it ends with letter sh, so that's why we have to add es. So she brushes her teeth. So just remember, when we use the subject I, you, we, they, or the subject that are plural like my friends, my teachers, our friends, we don't need to add anything to the verb. Okay, I play, we sing, they dance. But when our subject is third person singular, our subject is singular like he, she, it, or the name of one person like Kanchanalika, like Piset, like Heng Long, we have to add s or es. We add s to the most verbs, and we add es to the verb that end with letter sh, ch, s, and x, right? How about the verb that ends with letter y, consonant plus y? Consonant plus y, example, the word cry. Can you spell cry? C-R-Y. So R is a consonant and then Y. So for the subject that is I, you, we, they, we don't need to change anything. I cry, you cry, they cry, we cry. But when the subject is third person singular, we have to change Y to IES. Example, he cries, she cries, it cries. So can you tell me another word that ends with consonant plus Y? Example, the word try, T-R-Y. So I is a consonant and then Y. So I try a lot. They try to study hard. So we don't need to change anything. But when our third person singular subject, he, she, it, we have to change Y to IES. Example, he tries, she tries, it tries. Okay, so like the word fly, the same, we have to change Y to IES, right? He flies to London, she flies to Singapore. Okay, how about the verb that ends with vowel plus Y? Example, the word play, P-L-A-Y. So A is a vowel, it is not a consonant. So I play. How about he play? Do we have to change Y to IES? No, we don't change because P-L-A-Y, A is a vowel, and Y we don't change, we just add as. I play, he plays. I play, she plays. We don't change Y to IES because the letter in front of Y is a vowel, A, not a consonant. We only change Y to IES when the letter in front of Y is a consonant, like the word try, fry, or fly, or cry. Okay, so that is the affirmative form. How about the negative form? The negative form, we use the word don't and doesn't. So when do we use don't? This is so easy, right? We use don't with the subject that is plural, like you, we, they, and then I. And we use doesn't with he, she, it. Example, I don't like this pizza. We don't want to go to America. They don't want to travel to Korea. Okay, we use don't. But for the he, she, it, for the third person singular subject, we have to use doesn't, right? He doesn't want to learn English. She doesn't want to go to Eon too. Okay, it doesn't work. Okay, so we use don't with I, you, we, they, and subject that are plural, and we use doesn't with he, she, it. He doesn't love me. She doesn't want to study. It doesn't work. Okay, so now let's go to the yes no questions. So yes no questions we have to ask with do or does. Example, do you want to go to the market? Do you want to go to the market? If you want, you say yes I do or no I don't. Remember, when they ask you do, you have to answer with do or don't. Do you want to go to the market? Yes I do or no I don't. Not yes I want. Yes I want is wrong, okay? Yes I do. Do you want to go to Eon Mall? Yes I do or no I don't. Do you want to eat hamburger? Yes I do or no I don't. Okay, how about does he want to play football with me? So you want to ask someone about another person. Example, does he want to play football with me? Yes he does or no he doesn't. Okay, so again, just review again, just wrap up again. We use simple present to talk about facts and people's habit. Habit, it is about things that you do every day. And then for the third person singular, you have to add s or es. Most verbs you have to add s, like play, so becomes plays, swim become swims, okay, sing become sings, dance become dances. But some words you have to add es. Example, the word watch become watches, brush become brushes, teach become teaches. And for the negative form, we have to use don't or doesn't. We use don't with I, you, we, they. We use doesn't with he, she, it. And yes, no question, we have to start with do or does. Do you want to go to watch movie with me? Yes, I do or no, I don't. And does she want to copy my lesson? Yes, she does or no, she doesn't. So now let's go to the two exercises on page 30, exercise A and exercise B. Let's go to exercise A. So you have to circle the correct words. So number one, it is already done for you. I like or I likes pizza. So we have to circle like, not likes. Why? Because our subject is I, we don't need to add s to the verb. I like pizza. Hey, we did pizza, pizza, pizza. And number two, you look or you looks nice today. So our subject is you, right? You. Do we need to add s to the verb when the subject is you? No, we don't add. We have to keep it in the original form. So you look nice today. Let's go to number three. He rides a horse. So our subject is he, and he is third person singular. So do we need to add s to the verb? Yes, when our subject is third person singular he, we have to add s. So he rides a horse. Let's go to number four. The bus don't stop, doesn't stop here. So let's look at the subject. The subject is the bus, right? The bus is singular. So singular, do we have to use don't or doesn't? We have to use doesn't, right? So the bus doesn't stop here. Let's go to number five. They don't speak, they doesn't speak English. So what is the subject? The subject is they, and they is plural. Plural, we have to use don't or doesn't. They we use with don't. So they don't speak English. Let's go to number six. It is the question. So let's look at the subject. The subject is we, right? So we use does or do. We have to use do. So do we walk or walks home? So in the question, we don't need to add anything, okay? So do we walk home? We don't add s and we use do. Number seven, the subject is she, right? She we use with does. So does she and then draw or draws very well. So in the affirmative form, you have to add s to the verb, right? But here in question, you don't need to add. So does she draw very well? If this sentence is an affirmative example, she draws very well. So we have to add s, right? But here, because this is the question, does she draw very well? So we don't need to add s to the verb draw. Don't confuse. In the affirmative form, we add s. Example, she draws very well. But here it is not an affirmative form. This is a question. So we have to use does and we don't need to add anything. Does she draw very well? Let's look at number 8, the last one. Our subject is your brother and sister. So your brother and sister is two people, right? So plural. So we have to use do or does. We have to use do. So do your brother and sister play or plays the guitar? So like I told you, in the question we don't need to add anything. So do your brother and sister play the guitar? Okay, so now we have finished section A. Let's go to section B. Section B march to complete the sentence. So here there are number 1 to number 6 and letter A to letter F. So let's go to number 1. Number 1, it is already done for you, right? Number 1, Jose and Ryan go to the same school. So we have to match it. And number 2, Anna. So Anna is normally a girl. So Anna don't taste good. Anna we have homework. Anna walks his dog every day. Anna doesn't like her present, or Anna Victor have a pet. So here Anna is a girl, so you have to find the subject that is girl. So letter D, right? Anna doesn't like her present. Let's go to number 3. These cookies. So these cookies are plural, right? So we have to use A. These cookies don't taste good. Number 4. Question does. Does what? Does we have homework? Does walks his dog every day, or does Victor have a pet? So the answer letter F, right? Does Victor have a pet? And number 5, it is a question 2. So do we have homework? And the last one, number 6, Peter walks his dog every day. Okay, so now we have finished 2 exercises on page 30, and we also finished our first video. It is about simple present. So remember, we use simple present to talk about the facts and people habit. And the affirmative form, we don't need to add anything to the verb that our subject is I, you, we, they. But when the subject is third person singular like he, she, it, we have to add s or es. We add es when the verb ends with letter ch, sh, x, and s, right? And for the negative form, we use don't and doesn't. And for the yes no questions, we have to start with do or does. And we answer yes I do or no I don't. No she doesn't or yes she does. Okay? And see you in the next session.